Good morning. I am just leaving my house to head to another trail. Day 3, 4 days on trail while my husband is out of town. And I'll be honest with you, I had a hard time motivating myself today. It's overcast. At least it's kind of higher clouds. It's not too dark, somewhat bright, but still is cloudy. It can be hard sometimes to motivate myself to hike solo on a regular basis. I do have friends that hike with me too, but not necessarily as regularly as I hike. I definitely have more of a passion for it and want to be out on trail a heck of a lot more than they do. Sometimes motivation's a little low and the cloudy sky is not helping me today, but I made a commitment to hike 4 days in a row, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm always happy when I get on trail, even when I am feeling a little reluctant to go. I never regret it when I make myself. And let's face it, when you're doing things that you're hesitant to do or not really wanting to do, it just makes it easier the next time. Makes you a stronger person by just developing that courage and that grows and shrinks when you're doing things or not doing things that are out of your comfort zone. As much as just, I don't want to go to the store today, but you go to the store and it helps you out with getting that routine of doing things that you don't want to do. Makes you a better person, stronger person. Heading to Liberty Lake Trailhead. I've taken you there before. I think I'm going to do something a little different though. Instead of going to that paved main parking lot, I'm going to go to the equestrian parking lot. It adds a little bit of mileage, not by much, and a little bit of elevation gain for the climb out. I tend to like it a little bit better. The plan is to go to the falls, which is not the entire loop. The whole loop actually takes you up to a cabin, which I read a couple of reviews on All Trails. I know, All Trails isn't the best, but it works. For the most part. Well, maybe not. I don't know. They're not always consistent with their mileage and elevation gain. Anyway, so there's been a couple of reports of a mama moose and baby up at the cabin, and I don't know if I really want to go up there by myself. I honestly think that mama moose is probably the least favorable thing to see in the wild. They're pretty protective of their babies, and I don't want to be face to face in one. I've seen moose on trail, but never with a baby. So, the plan is a waterfall. Honestly, the plan was a waterfall anyways, before I read those reviews. Now that I'm getting a little bit later start than I planned due to lack of motivation. It's 11 o'clock right now, and I have an early dinner meetup with a friend of mine. So, we will do the equestrian trail to the falls. Should be nice. We'll see. Could be icy. Maybe not. I'm not 100% sure. I've got Bruce in the back in his crate, and I think he's going to be pretty tired by the end of this weekend. Parking lot's pretty full today, so it looks like I will be running into quite a few people on trail today, which is fine. I've been pretty lucky to not have busy trails the last couple of days. I'll be honest with you, the end of last year, 2024, I really didn't do a ton of hiking in like October or November or December just because of other commitments, things that I was doing with my husband, trips that we had. So I've really been trying to get back on trail a lot more for 2025. January and February, I at least have gotten out every week. So far with this weekend, I'm having a great start to March. I keep track of my mileage, and I have since 2021 kind of, but 2022 I really started keeping track of my mileage. You know, the hikes and the dates and elevation gain and all that good stuff. Yeah, a little nerdy on a notebook like a Gen Xer would, not on a tablet, on a phone or a computer. So far, my best year for hiking was 2023. And I did over 650 miles, and I'm pretty proud of myself for that. I went on a lot of trips. Did a handful of backpacking trips, national park trips, a lot of local stuff to Washington and Idaho too. My goal for 2024 was to keep up with that mileage, but increase my elevation gain overall. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I didn't even get to 500 miles for 2024. I was pretty disappointed at first, but I'm like, why? I still had amazing adventures. I went on great hikes. Sometimes you have to do things that take you away from the trail, and it's all right. I'm an adult. I have responsibilities. I can't just always be playing all the time. Well, I would like to be playing all the time though. It does make life more fun. I'm committed to my responsibilities too. That's okay. You can learn to work hard and play hard and enjoy life, even with being an adult. I love pine cones. I don't know why. I think I'm gonna get a pine cone tattoo sometime. Bruce is a really good trail dog. I'm really proud of him. He's not quite 3 years old. He doesn't bother anybody when they walk by with other dogs or acting like idiots. He's very friendly when people want to say hi to him. Loves kids. In fact, there were some kids that walked by that were super polite that went off to the side of the trail for us to pass. And Bruce just wagged his tail at them and was hoping that they would stop and pet him, but he's a sweet boy like that. So my 2025 goals are trying to do more with the Spokane Mountaineers with backpacking during the summer months. But it just seems like my summers get packed so fast with plans. And it's like, oh, the hike will come up online and I'll be like, oh, that looks really good. And then I look at the dates and I'm like, oh, I've already got something going on. So hopefully I can manage to get more hikes in with them, experience places that I haven't been. A lot of the people that are involved with that group, they've been hiking this area for a lot more years than I have. They know some wonderful places to go. They're a good community to be involved with, especially if you don't have anyone to go hiking with and you would like to, but you're not confident to go solo. Join the Spokane Mountaineers if you are in this area, whether it's northern Idaho or greater Spokane County. Join them. They're a great group of people, wealth of knowledge, wonderful adventures. They even do like Wednesday night hikes that are pretty easy to help you get into shape, or for people that are less adventurous. Check them out. I'll put the link in the description so you can go to their website. I got on a tangent about the Spokane Mountaineers, but my goal for 2025, ultimately, mileage-wise, is at least 500 miles. I'd like to put in more than that if I can. Like I said, I was super proud of the year that I did over 650 miles. And again, that's a lot of day trips. It's not like I'm going on long backpacking trips. There were some backpacking trips, but not anything crazy. Here we come, 2025. This weekend, well, I guess it just depends on what trail I do tomorrow. So I don't know what my total mileage will be. The last 2 days was 13 total, which isn't a crazy amount by any means. Today, I think it's going to be a little over 8 miles. My feet are definitely not in normal condition for hiking this many days in a row. The first day, they were hurting pretty bad. They feel okay today. They love my ultras. I've got like bear cub feet. The big toe box is comfortable for me. Sun is peeking out, yay! This is where the trail from the equestrian parking lot meets up with the main trail. What do they call it? Zephyr Connector Trail. It's like we're gonna have mud again today. They got the sign back up. It was down last time I was here when it was all covered in snow. It's the bridge to go to right. I'm gonna go to the left. It's Creek Split is what it's called. Here we go. Have I told you how much I like moss? A little offshoot. Check that ice out underneath the dirt. That looks so cool. Starting to get into quite a few patches of ice. I have a feeling that once I cross over the bridge to head up to the falls, I'm gonna have to put my spikes on. I don't want to fall like I did yesterday. Made it to the Cedar Grove. smells really bad like cigarette smoke. There's a guy smoking. I mean, I guess at least he's exercising. My cute dog. I love him. I'm gonna let these three guys get ahead of me a little bit so I don't have to smell the cigarette smoke so bad. So I'm just gonna take a little break with my dog. All right, I'm gonna start heading up the switchbacks. The view of Liberty Lake. It's getting a little breezy out. Kind of opens up right here a little bit, so the wind comes through here. Forgot to mention that from the bridge it's about a mile to get to the waterfalls. And this section I'm going through right now, for whatever reason, I always like it. Well, Bruce, it's a little taller to get over. Hup, come on, hup. Good boy. Now your short-legged mother. There we go. I have to admit that I feel a little weird making videos still for YouTube. And the whole reason why I'm doing this is to share my journey with people. It's just not in my natural being to do so. I'm assuming it's probably my age, generation I grew up in, being Gen Xer. We didn't grow up with phones in our pockets. We didn't make videos of our friends and take selfies and whatnot. We had Polaroids.
Yeah, shake it like a Polaroid picture, baby.
And we had cameras that we had to go drop off film to get developed. And we're just hoping that you had great pictures when you got your photos back. It was always a surprise. I'm sure I'll get used to it, but I do right now find myself putting my phone down, stop recording, or timing what I'm recording if there's people around. I'm sure I'll get over it, get used to it. It's just outside of my comfort zone. I was just told that it gets extremely icy up here and that it's pretty dangerous. I didn't ask if that was before or after the waterfall, so I will find out. Made to the waterfall. There was a little bit of ice that was a little bit slick coming down a hill, but also have to be careful with going back up it. But it really wasn't too bad, and I don't have to put spikes on to get back up. I think going further up past the waterfall is where it probably gets really bad, but that's not what I'm doing today. That was 4.4 miles from the equestrian parking lot to the falls. So I'm turning around now. The ice really isn't that bad. The gentleman that said it was really bad and that was pretty treacherous, obviously it was just outside of his comfort level. And that's okay, everyone has different comfort levels. This is fine for me, I don't have a problem with this. It's better than it was yesterday, that's for sure. down for the count, and I didn't even slip on ice. It was just mud. Really? Bruce, what do you think about that? Decided to count the down trees that we had to climb over or hop over. There ended up being 8 in, I don't know, maybe a half mile or a 3/4 mile radius of that upper area. It's a lot of wind and heavy snow during the winter, so there's even more down trees further up. I know I read a review that people were having to really navigate getting through there because there are so many down trees. But it will get trail maintenance. This trail is very popular, so they're really good about getting out here and doing maintenance once it's a little further into the season. Another thing I'm gonna have to get used to when making content and videoing things on a hike is the extra time it takes. You know, you're setting up a tripod, talking into the camera. It slows you down with your footsteps. I'm already not a crazy fast hiker. I mean, I'm not a slow hiker, but I'm not super fast because I have short legs. I am not even 5 feet tall on a good day. I mean, I usually just say I'm 5 foot, but really I'm 4'11 3/4. So with shoes on, I'm 5 feet. So it takes more steps for me to get somewhere than it does for the average person who is taller than I am. But I'm generally used to just hiking by myself and powering through it and being in my own thoughts and talking to my dog, and that's about it. But I'm okay with it. I think that it's, like I said, it's gonna give me a way to share things with others, let them live vicariously through me and my adventures. Back to the Bronco. As you can see, my face is even more red than it normally is. I decided to take a more direct route that's steeper to get to the trailhead because I was running out of time to be able to get home, get myself cleaned up, and then meet a friend for dinner. So I hope that you enjoyed this hike today. Again, it was three out of 4 hikes that I'm doing 4 days in a row while my husband's out of town. Today's hike ended up being 8.5 miles. It would have been closer to 9 had I not taken that shortcut trail. It wasn't actually a shortcut, like it is a real trail. It's just a more direct route than I came down. It was a good trail today, besides falling, and I just had to embrace the mud. Some people were doing their best to avoid it, but I'm just dirty. It's fine. I'm a stinky girl. That's what my husband calls me. I don't mind at all. See you next time. I'll take you along on day 4 tomorrow. I'm not sure what trail Ruthie and I are taking tomorrow. So we will figure it out, and I will take you along for part of that. Good morning. It is Sunday at 8:45 in the morning, getting a much earlier start than I have in the last few days. So today is day 4 of 4 of hiking while my husband is out of town. Just doing local trails though. Lost an hour last night with the time change. The bags under my eyes are a little worse for the wear today, but that's all right. I am meeting my friend and we are going to hike Antoine Peak from the east trailhead, which I believe is called Canfield. So I will bring you along. We will see you there. So I'm at the trailhead waiting for Ruth. I'm usually the first person here when we are meeting up. I was thinking about how I've hiked about 21.5 miles the last 3 days, which isn't a crazy amount if you really think about it. But when you're not used to hiking consecutive days in a row, then it does take a toll on your body. So it got me to thinking about people who do through hikes like the AT or the PCT or the CDT without training. I can't even imagine that. That's got to be so much harder on your body to get in shape on trail than actually doing some preparations to get your body ready by hiking and carrying a heavy pack. I don't think my body would be able to handle it. So for me, when I do the PCT, I'm going to be doing some training. That is for sure. No, it's just what he does. He just rolls. I am heading home from the 4th hike in 4 days. Ended up being, I believe, 6.7 miles. I only did videoing of scenery on trail today. I just really needed to catch up with my friend. I don't want to have this channel consume everything in my life. I just needed to be able to visit with her without having interruptions other than just doing a little bit of videoing of me walking along on the trail. It was nice to catch up with her, kind of have a little powwow about stuff. The last 4 days I've put in probably close to 29 miles. I'll have to double check the calculations, and I feel pretty darn good. I'm pretty happy with how I feel, considering that in January and February I did about that mileage each month. So yeah, I feel great. I appreciate you coming along for my journey for these last 4 days, letting me hopefully entertain you some. My husband will be back in town probably for dinner. I will see you guys next time.